All right, Red5 Nation, I'm going to teach you how to use MyFitnessPal. Sign up with email and password. You're going to put in your weight. For me, I'm currently 200 pounds, 5'8". My goal weight, I want to keep it 200 pounds. I want to stay the same weight. I just want to do some recomposition. I'm a male. Put in your birthday, March 28th, 1985, United States of America. I'm not sure if you have to put in your zip code, but we'll find out. No, we don't have to. Username, you're going to sign in with your email address, but this is going to be important here. So this is going to be your lifestyle. Is it sedentary? That means do you do nothing? Are you lightly active? I'm going to choose active. So I work out pretty hard, even though my job is pretty sedentary. So if you are very active, that's going to be you work out really hard and you have an active job. So this is going to dictate how many calories you have per day. So make sure that you choose wisely, but ultimately it doesn't really matter because the calories that this website gives you are not super accurate anyway. Lightly active is going to be people who work out, but they have a sedentary job. They sit at a desk all day and that's it. All right, if you're a mail carrier and you work out super hard, very active is probably going to be where you want to go. Next, you're going to type in how many workouts per week do you do? I do about 5 for about 90 minutes a piece, sometimes more, sometimes less. I want all my food to be tracked in calories. I don't know who does kilojoules, but we're going to do calories. And no, I do not want 1,000,000 emails from MyFitnessPal. Save and continue. Step 1, done. All right, do I want to email 5 friends about this? No, certainly not. I don't want to bother people with that. So I'm going to continue or skip. It doesn't really matter. Now it's going to give me my calories, 2,900 calories per day. And it's going to give me my macros, 364 grams of carbs, 97 grams of fat, 146 grams of protein. So this is what I was talking about. This is not accurate. All right, 146 grams of protein for a 200-pound man who lifts very, very hard. That's just not enough protein. So really you want to figure out how much protein you need per pound of body weight. And if you're leaner, you're going to need more protein per pound of body weight than if you have some extra fat on your body, right? So protein is going to be to fuel the muscle. So if I'm 200 pounds and I have 20% body fat, I have less muscle than if I'm 200 pounds with 10% body fat. So 10% body fat is going to need more protein, 20% body fat's going to need less protein per pound of body weight. That's why this stuff is not super accurate. So you should leave that up to an expert to help you figure that out. It really is worth it because it's only a one-time setup for the most part, and you'll be really accurate on where you need to be specifically. Next, we're going to go to food, and this is where we're going to start to log our meals. So it's set up, pre-set up with breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, 4 meals. I like to do 6 meals per day. That's my personal preference, but you can keep it at 4. You can go as much as 10. You can do as many as you want to do. It doesn't really matter. So you can also change the number of the names of the meals. I like to put mine as pre-workout. That's my first meal. It doesn't, the order doesn't necessarily matter too much. Post-workout. My first meal happens to be my pre-workout meal, and my second meal happens to be my post-workout meal most days of the week. Then from here, I'm going to change this to meal 1, meal 2, if I can spell it right, meal 3, and finally meal 4. So once you have that set up, you're going to go down, save changes, and again, you can name it whatever you want to name it. This is just how I do it. Then it's going to bring us back here, and we're going to go back to food. And this is how we log our food. So I'll show you one meal. You go to add food, and then you can search. There's pretty much every food that you could ever imagine in this database. So I'm going to type in Quaker Oats, Quick Oats. Boom, here we go. So it's going to give us a list of foods. Actually, don't use Quick Oats, I use rolled oats. I don't know why I wrote that. But anyway, rolled oats, I'm going to click that. And it's going to say 1 serving of 0.5 cups, and you can change the amount of, you can change the serving size to whatever you want. I happen to use a half a cup of oatmeal for my breakfast every morning, so this is perfect for me. But if you want to change it to 1/3 of a cup or whatever it is, that's fine. If you want to do 1 cup, there's that there, or you can keep it at 0.5 cups and then just go 2 servings. Doesn't really matter. So I'm going to add this to diary. Click. Boom, here we go. Now it shows you 150 calories, 27 grams of carbs, 3 grams of fat, 5 grams of protein, 1 gram of sugar. All right, it's going to show you down here as well. This is going to be your daily total at the bottom. All right, so it's going to calculate everything. It's going to say this is how many you're up to so far. This is how much you have left. I'm going to continue with this full meal right here. Next, I do oatmeal with some blueberries. And I do a half a cup of blueberries. So I'm just going to type in blueberries. I'm going to search it. A ton of options are going to come up. You find what matches you the most. Blueberries. Click. First one says 1 cup. So I'm going to change the serving size to 0.5 servings to give me a half a cup. I'm going to add that to diary. And again, now it's going to give me a total for this meal. And it's going to give me a total for my daily. I'm going to add some honey. I do a tablespoon of honey, just give it a little bit of sweetness to it, plus get some extra carbs before my workout. So again, this is a pre-workout meal. This is going to be loaded with calories for me. 1 cup of honey? No, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. I'm going to go to tablespoon, 1 tablespoon, perfect, add to diary. Here we go. Again, it's going to give me a running total down at the bottom. Carbs, 55. Now, peanut butter. I use Smucker's all-natural peanut butter. It's a little bit gooier and it mixes in way easier and it's better for you than having all those chemicals and Jif peanut butter or whatever it is that people use. Peanut butter, click. 2 tablespoons, perfect. That's exactly how much I use. Making it easy for you. Add to diary. So here's my first meal. All right, 457 calories, 61 grams of carbs, 19 grams of fat, 14 grams of protein. Not a lot of protein, need a little bit more. So what do? I don't want to have a ridiculously full stomach. So in the morning, I just do 1 scoop of gold standard whey protein in some water so I don't have extra liquid calories. Then I'm going to add that in there. Strawberry, that's for crazy people. Vanilla, no thank you. Banana, definitely not. Ordered a 25-pound bucket of banana protein when I was young and dumb. Big mistake. We're looking for chocolate. Chocolate protein, tried and true. Chocolate always tastes like chocolate. Vanilla, totally hit or miss. The other flavors, you're a psychopath if you choose those. So now we have 38 grams of protein. We're good to go. This is a good pre-workout meal. I'll let this digest for a little while so I don't have a full stomach. And then it's going to give you a tally down at the bottom. All right, it's going to give me my daily total. It's going to tell me how much is remaining for the day for each macronutrient and for my calories. And this is how you set up a full meal in MyFitnessPal. Right, you're going to do the same exact thing for all of your meals. And as you go throughout the day, you just want to record everything that you eat. Right, so ideally you have all of these meals pre-planned so you know exactly, like you set it up beforehand so you know that it fits your macros, it fits your calorie intake, and you just check it off as you go, right? But if you do eat something that's not really on the menu, then just add it in here, right? So as long as your macronutrients are in check for the day, you're good to go, right? The food choices, that's going to be third on the list of importance. The most important is going to be the number of calories that you get. The next most important is that you get these macros correct, carbs, fat, and protein, the right numbers there. Number 1 most important, calories. Number 2 most important is you have carbs, fat, and protein in the right distribution. Third most important is going to be food choices. All right, so this is going to allow you some flexibility in your diet, which is awesome because it allows you to be a normal human being and not a slave to your diet. It allows you to have a positive relationship with food instead of constantly thinking about it. But if you do eat something, just add it in there. It's totally okay, right? And pretty much everything that you could possibly think of is going to be in this database, like I said. So this is a great way to do it. And if you don't know exactly what your distribution is going to be, that's going to be different person to person. I like a little bit higher carbs because I'm going to perform better in the gym with more carbs and less fat. If you want to lean out a little bit faster, then you can go a little bit higher fat and a little bit lower carbs. But make sure you have your protein correct. That's going to stay the same whether you're cutting or you're doing a body recomposition or you're bulking protein, you want to make sure you have that on point, and then you're going to change the other distribution, again, based on what your goals are. Red5fitness.com, check me out.